Hello, this is the New Testament survey final presentation. My name is Aaron Tyler. I'm going to be talking about a brief overview of the New Testament, breaking it out into different sections that you could divide the New Testament, starting with the Gospels, Acts, Hebrews, the letters by Paul, and finally Revelation. So, up first is the Gospels. That would be Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They give the account of Jesus' life. And each one kind of has a different perspective / emphasis. Some are more on the teachings of Jesus. Some are more on the healings of Jesus. John is also a good place to start, as it is more of a just like whole overview of his life. So they all kind of have a different like perspective, while not contradicting each other. You put all of them together and you get a very full picture of Jesus' life. Mark is considered to be the first gospel in terms of like when it was written, and the other gospels do use each other as references and influence, and they also use what they call Q as a document that is considered a source. So that would be what would make up the gospels. Follow that, you have Acts. Acts covers Pentecost and the first baptism of the Holy Spirit on everyone in the upper room, as well as the early church. And it really gives a model for today's church and how the church should operate, just like in the other class, you have the Acts 2 model, the Spirit-empowered church. That's in Acts. That's where that's found. And it outlines the spread of the gospel in that early first century, how it spread and how the establishment of different churches in the surrounding areas, and really the power of the Holy Spirit, the disciples walking out, living in the power of the Holy Spirit after being baptized. They were healing people, spreading the gospel. People were being saved and baptized. So that's what you can kind of find in the book of Acts. You also have Hebrews. I put that on its own. It's not a letter by Paul, and the author is unknown. There's a high emphasis on faith in the book of Hebrews. You have what is typically referred to as the faith chapter 11, and Hebrews also talks about how Jesus established the new covenant. So it kind of really goes into contrasting Old Covenant and New Covenant, and how Jesus established the new covenant and what that means for us. So that's Hebrews. You have the letters by Paul. Paul's letters to the early churches. You got like the church at Ephesus and Corinth, Thessalonica, as well as like fellow Christians. You have, Peter and as an example. Sorry, excuse me. They provide instructions and rebukes, as well as just how, because a lot of the different churches struggled at different times, and the letters were written to them to help them along their journey and get back to how they were founded on the gospel, on Jesus. A lot of letters Paul written like, go back to what I first taught you and showed you. They give rules to live by. You can also find the fruit of the Spirit and the gifts of the Spirit. Those are found in Galatians and 1 Corinthians, and those were written by Paul. So those kind of make up the letters. Then you finally come to Revelations, and that consists of, there are letters in there. There's prophecy. There's what you call apocalypse. The letters to the church provide warnings to those churches. A lot of those churches kind of were starting to veer off away from sound doctrine. So they provide warnings, which is also useful for us today. It provides revelation of the end times. And it provides hope for Christians about what is to come and about the return of Jesus to reign forever. So that's what you can kind of find in Revelations. So that kind of covers a brief overview of the whole New Testament, kind of broken up into different sections that could help easy to digest and break it up. So I thank you, and that's the New Testament survey.